need for this activity is 1, beads of various colors, 2, embroidery thread of various colors, 3, pair of scissors, 4, tape, 6, a flat surface, and 7, lots of room, because when we get to the embroidery thread part, you're going to have a lot of thread that will take up more space than what the video will be showing you, because the thread stretches out and it's going to be pretty long. As we do these LGBTQ flags, I will talk about what each of the colors means. We will be starting off, I will be doing 1 beaded bracelet, and then showing you how to do that, and then we will go to the embroidery thread friendship bracelet, which takes the most chunk of time. So for our beaded bracelet, I decided that we would be doing the rainbow flag. This was my first beaded bracelet. Actually, that's a lie. This wasn't my very first beaded bracelet. My first one you do not want to see. But this beaded bracelet was one of the successes. And it's adjustable. You can make it adjustable, so I'll show you how to do that. This one is the Pansexual Flag, which I can talk a little bit about the colors. Yeah, so this is the Pansexual Flag. Pansexual is people who are attracted, they don't care about what gender you are, whether it be women, men, non-binary. Anyway, so we'll start off doing the one that everyone knows the most, which is the rainbow flag. This is one of the embroidery. This was actually my first ever embroidery thread bracelet. Although we're gonna have to, I realized with my beads, there's technically no red. So we're gonna pretend that the pink will be red. Other than that, I have all the colors for that. And fun fact, in the original rainbow flag, which had more colors than the 7 that you see here. No, 6. Sorry, guys. The 6 colors, it used to have more colors, and pink actually used to be part of the original one. But we're just going to be doing the modern one that everyone knows. And so the colors for this are red, which means life, orange, which means healing, yellow, which means sun, green, which means nature, blue, which means harmony, and purple, which means spirit. So, depending on the size of your hand, I'm not going to specify how many beads you need to use, because for everyone it will be different. I have a pretty small wrist, so I won't need too many beads. Now, for the bracelet, you're going to use either yarn or embroidery thread, which is what I have. For the beaded bracelets, I've been doing 2 different colors. And generally I pick 2 of the colors that are part of the flag that I am doing. So since we're quote unquote doing the rainbow flag, I will be doing, I'll pick, let's see, red. And I'll pick the last color, which would be purple for the actual thread. Now, for the length of how much you want for your wrist, again, this is going to be different for everyone. A good chunk, I guess, would be to do, if your legs are crisscross applesauce, I would take one end and stretch it all the way to your other knee, when you're in the crisscross applesauce position, and then do one whole other one. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, one whole other one. So it should be relatively long. Because we're gonna have to fold it once. So this is where you're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna cut the length. And then what you can do is just stretch out the purple, your second color, to be the length of what you have. So even them up, and then you're gonna stretch it out. Slight technical difficulties, guys. You got to be careful. Embroidery thread tends to get, it can get very tangled. So I try to like be more wary of it. Okay, so now you have the length that you need, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna take, hold on, let me make sure it's even. All right, so you're gonna take one end and you're gonna match it up to the other end. And I realized that my red is a little bit too long, so we're gonna cut that. Okay, so once you've folded it, you're gonna take the top end here, you're gonna wrap it around your finger, and you're gonna put it through, and you want to make the whole the loop as tiny as possible. So I'm trying to push it up. There you go. And now you have a loop. And because this is a bracelet and you're going to be putting beads onto here, sorry about the hair, guys. It's hazard. Also, I have cat hair everywhere because I own a cat, so I'm sorry. Anyway, so we're going to take the loop and we're going to do a double knot because you don't want the bead to slip and fall off. And remember, you want to get it as close as you can. Here we go. Ta-da! Now the test will be actually slipping a bead onto here. All right, so again, I'm gonna have to cut the end because it's not completely even. Sometimes that happens when you're making the loop. Okay, so now it's cut and even. What you can do to make the bead to go on easier is I tend to like lick, or you can add a bit of water to the ends of it, and then you're gonna thread the bead on. Oh, nope, I'm gonna have to do a triple knot for this one because the bead slipped off, or I just did not do it in the correct area. There we go. This one should be better. Ta-da! And remember, we're going to be pretending that the pink is the red for our rainbow flag. So the next color is orange with, if you can remember, it means healing. So we're going to thread this one on. Sorry, my cat. So now orange, and then yellow for sun. And since I'm working with embroidery thread, it tends to like really unravel a lot the more you work on it. So I would advise, if you have only embroidery thread, hopefully you guys have yarn to work with beaded bracelets. But you might need to wet it a couple of times during this process. And then green, which means nature. And blue, which means harmony. And last but not least, purple, which means spirit. And then you're just going to repeat that process until you are able to wrap it around your wrist. So red, quote unquote again. And then orange. And then yellow. And of course, green next. And then blue. And again, last but not least, purple. And hopefully I'll only have to be doing this maybe 1 or 2 more times in a row. Again, because my wrist is pretty small. I am a small girl. Orange, yellow. Green. Blue. Purple. And we start all over again. I should only need to do this 1 more time. Wrap it around here so you guys see. Yellow. Green. Also, I'd advise you guys to sit in with a pillow underneath you and a pillow maybe to your back, and try to sit up straight. Keep a good posture, because this will kill your back if you're bending over like I am when I make these. And I've been making a lot of these from my friends, so luckily this the beaded bracelet does not take very long to do. Okay, let's see how this is sizing up to my wrist. Here we go. You know what? This is good. We'll stop here, because the main event, of course, will be the embroidery bracelet. So, this is a beaded bracelet. So, now you're thinking to yourself, what now? I've completely threaded it. How am I gonna make it be able to be wearable? So, what you're gonna do now is you're gonna take the end, which is obviously, since if it's really this bad kind of unraveled, If you have enough room to do this, I would advise you to cut that way you can start off fresh. So what we're gonna do, remember the 2 loops at one end where you did your, well, I did my triple knot. Normally you only have to do a double knot. So we're gonna take our the other ends of our embroidery thread and we're gonna put it through the loop and we're gonna pull it all the way to the end. Do you guys need me to repeat that? I can repeat that. So you're gonna take the ends of your bracelet and you're gonna put it through the loop. Watch this second time be harder than the first. There we go. And you're gonna pull it until it's as tight as it can be, pretty much. So then you have this. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your embroidery thread and you're gonna make a small rainbow, as I call it, and you're gonna take the end of the loop and you're gonna put it. Now bear with me, guys. I might have done it the wrong way. It's either this way or the other way. So you're gonna small rainbow, and on that same side, you're gonna put the ends through the original loop of where you knotted the bracelet. And I did it right this time. I'm so excited. There we go. And you have made an adjustable beaded bracelet. So then, when you put it on, you can tighten it. And now it's wearable. And now you're thinking to yourself, what are you going to do with all this extra embroidery thread? Good question. So, what you're going to do is pull it so you have enough room to adjust it. You're going to take the extra embroidery thread. we're going to make a knot, another double knot. So, what you're going to do, do the first knot. I might have to make it, okay, that's good. First knot, and then you're going to do the second knot in the same area. Ta-da! And then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut the extra off. And you're going to put it on and readjust. And this, you know what? This might actually still be too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off slightly. And I'm going to double knot it closer. It's okay if you get it wrong the first time, guys. It's a learning process on how to do these correctly. Ta-da! And then we're gonna again take our scissors and to cut away the extra. So now you have your finished product, and that you can make for yourself, make one for a friend, anything you'd like. I'm gonna set this off to the side, and now we've come to our main event. So this was my very first embroidery thread. It's not bad, but as you're learning, you can tell that I didn't tighten things completely, and then when you flip it, you can definitely tell. Also, I have a cat, so you can see my cat Joel liked to put his claws into parts of my bracelet, because when you're working with embroidery thread, this will be very long when you start out. And of course, with pets, especially cats, if they see string moving about, they are more tempted to attack it. So, that was my first one, and as I've gone along, I've made others. So, this one is the Transgender Flag, and I can tell you the colors. So, this one is also, these will all be adjustable. So, when I started this one off, started up here, And so the colors are blue, which for transgender flag means males. The pink means female, and the white represents transitioning into the right gender or intersex or even neutral. Those are the flag meanings for the transgender flag. Then I did another one. I've been making them for friends. So this one is the Pansexual Flag. A lot of people get pansexual, and the flag that we'll be doing today, which will be Bisexual Flag, they get their meanings mixed up, which is, it's fair. So the Pansexual Flag, the colors are pink, which is indicative of women, blue, which is indicative of men, and then the yellow means non-binary people and gender fluid people. So people who don't see themselves in a specific gender. So for people who are pansexual, that means they love anyone regardless of sex. And then another one I made is the Asexual Flag. A lot of people really love the colors for this one. And so for the Asexual Flag, the colors, let me find the beginning. Okay, so the colors are black, which is indicative of asexuals, gray, which means gray aces or demi-aces, which is basically, as it says, gray area. So asexuals are people who don't have a sexual attraction. They just have a romantic attraction to someone. And the gray indicates people who are kind of in between being ace and then actual sexual. And then white stands for non-aces, who are partners and allies. And then purple stands for community. So that was another one I worked on. So today we will be doing bisexual. So bisexual colors are magenta. Hopefully you will have another one in the bag. Lavender purple, which it could be. They have specific colors, like really specific colors for the flag. But if you don't have the complete right color, that is fine. I have multiple different colors of purple, so we're going to do that. And then the last color is royal blue, or just blue if you don't have royal blue, which is a darker blue. And I actually don't think I have a royal blue, so I might have to do just a normal kind of blue. Yeah, I don't believe I have a dark blue. Let me see what would work best. I guess we'll do that one. Okay, so for the colors of the bisexual flag, so magenta is indicated of same-sex attraction. Dark royal blue is indicative of heterosexual or straight attraction, and then purple is both. It means same sex. Sorry, purple is indicative of both sex attraction, which is what bisexuals are. Bisexuals are people who are attracted to both male and female. All right, so what we're gonna do, basically, we're gonna do the same thing that we did for the beaded bracelets in measuring out how much you're gonna need, but it'll be a little bit longer. So remember how I guys said the best way to measure is crisscross applesauce. So for this, you're gonna take one end from one of your knees to the other knee, and then you're gonna do another full one knee end of the knee to the other knee, and then you're gonna do a half. Okay, and then you're gonna do it the same thing for your other color. And since you already have measured and cut out for the first color, you can just, again, what I did with the beaded bracelet, you can measure up the thread to be the same length. Actually, ran out of pink, so that's why you didn't hear me cutting it. So for this one, we're gonna cut it purple because there's plenty of purple. We're gonna put that to the side, and then last but not least, the blue, we're gonna measure out. It got real quiet, didn't it, guys? Measuring out. And again, here comes the problem of it. Gotta be really careful. It's getting a little tangled. We don't want that. And obviously, I had to take it out of the bundle. So we're gonna cut them a little bit even because they were, here we go. So now it's even. And this is very long. This will actually be longer for you guys. I ran out of size. So, but to give you guys an indication of how long, and this will be even longer. So what you're going to do, just like the beaded bracelet, you're going to fold it so you can do the loop. So you're going to match them up the ends to be even. So again, as you can see, there's kind of various sizes going on here. So again, I'm going to have to cut down. Thankfully, this is an example for you guys. So I do not have to make this into a full length. I'm not going to do the whole thing, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because if you do this bracelet, and by this bracelet, I mean the embroidery friendship bracelet, this takes about 2 to 2.5 hours to complete. So yeah, it takes some time, and don't be frustrated if it takes you even longer on your first go. I honestly, I can't even remember how much time it took me to make the first one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this loop and we're gonna make a knot. And remember, when you're making the knot, you want to make the loop as small as possible. This one actually is kind of big, but that's okay. The bigger, the better it is for example. So, oh, and you don't have to double knot this one since it's the bracelet. So you could just do one knot. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna tape it down with your tape. This is where your handy dandy tape comes in. Ah! Da, 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 da. Is that pretty even, guys? I want to be able to, for you guys to see. You might have to keep reapplying tape because when you're going to be tugging on it, sometimes it comes off. Again, don't be frustrated. Just take deep breaths and then re-tape it down. So now that it's taped down, what now? So now you're going to organize the colors into the order that they need to be. So for Bisexual Flag, we're going to have the magenta colors first. So what we're going to do is, and you're going to have both. So both pinks or magenta. The next color is purple. So we're going to have purple or violet, lavender. And then the blues will be last. And if you see like this crossing, you can then take this and put it underneath and pull it like that. So that way they're separate. Okay, now they're separated. How do I start? What now? So what you're gonna do, since we're starting with the pink, you are going to take your magentas. You're gonna take the first one that you designate to be the first one. It doesn't matter which one you pick. And you're gonna take it and you're gonna bring it around and through, and then you're gonna tighten it. And if you didn't get that the first time, that is totally okay, because we have to actually do it 2 times each. So I'm going to be doing it one more time. Hold on, let me get it closer so you guys can see. So you're going to take it like that, and you're going to bring it around, under, and through. And that way, you're going to bring it and tighten it, making little knots. Once you've done this twice, you're going to move on into your next color. So you're going to take around, under, through, and tighten it. And remember, we're doing it one more time. So around, through, and tighten it. Ta-da! So that's done. So you can push. What I like to do is when I'm complete with the colors that I've already finished, I like to put them off to the extreme side and keep the ones that I need to do dead center. The further you go down, it might get a bit more frustrating because the colors will start to become closer together. And that's where it's very, very, very important to make sure that the color is the next in line. So like say, so that purple is the first one, and now you're on the second purple, but the further down you go, it can kind of get confused. So then you might actually start to be doing the second one, thinking it's the first one when it's not. So always keep an eye out on your colors, and it'll get easier the further you go down. So we're gonna do this one, the second purple, around and up, and tighten it, and around, up, and tighten it. And then that one is done, so we can push that one off to the side. And now all we have left is the blue. So around, down, up, and tighten. Round, down, up, and tighten it. That one's finished. Last one, for at least the first pink or magenta. Around, down, through, and ta-da! So now you can pull them. I like to pull them to make sure that it's going well. And you did your first row, and now it'll become, you'll see the first color of the flag once we get this second row down. So remember, keeping your colors in order. I like to do, generally when I'm doing this, I like to keep the first 2 to 3 colors straight, and then the rest that I'm going to be getting to, I push off to the side so they're not in my way. So around, down, through, and tighten. And remember, we do this a second time. And tighten. And then the first purple is done, and we go on to the second one. And this is basically a rinse and repeat for every color. Always make sure you're doing it twice. Now, since we've already done one row, we got to make sure that we're picking the color that's next. So as you can see, you know that this one is the next one in line, even though there's 2 blues. So around, down, up, up, and tighten it, and then one more time. And tighten it. And we go to the second blue. Round, down, up. And tighten. And one more time. And tighten. And then the pink, magenta. And tighten. And one more time. And tighten. And voila, we finished the first color of the bisexual flag. And you can start to see how it is shaping up to be what you're going to end up the final product for. Now we're going to go on to the purple. And for this, guys, I'm going to do about 1/4 through this bracelet because, like I said, this bracelet will take you about 2 to 2.5 hours depending on how fast you are. If you're really fast, it could be quicker. I tend to go a bit slower, so tighten and whoop, tighten. And then we're on to blue and making sure that it's the blue that we need. And tighten. And one more time. And tighten. And then we go to the second one. And tighten. And if this happens, don't worry. It generally will not like get trapped in. I know for sewing that's a big worry if like fabric is going over other fabric when you're trying to do something. But generally it'll be fine. And since that's done, we'll push that off to the side, making sure which pink we're doing first, which is this one. Tighten and tighten. Push that to the side. And the second pink, magenta. And 2. As you go down, it will start to get quicker. Don't worry. My first time, I did this very slowly. Very slowly. And like anything that you work on, you'll have good days and you'll have bad days. I started to make a new transgender bracelet and I was not having a good time with it. It was not turning out really good. I'll show you. I don't know if I even will finish it. It's really long. As you can tell, it's extremely long, like the proper length. And I had started it. And as you can see, I don't know what I was doing. Probably not paying attention completely, but I was not tightening it very well. And so plenty of mistakes. But that's okay. And this wasn't even my first bracelet, obviously, guys. My first one was the rainbow flag bracelet, which is here. This was my first one, and this is like my 3rd, 4th bracelet. So it's okay. Again, you'll have good days and bad days. Don't feel frustrated. Just take your time, pace yourself, put on some good jams to listen to, which is what I do when I'm making these because they take so long. I put on some good music to listen to, and everything is peachy. Okay, so remember, make sure that you're doing the correct color first. So that's this one here. And we're gonna tighten it. And we're gonna tighten it. And the second pink. Tighten. Tighten. And last but not least, tighten. Tighten. look at it. It's starting to shape up, guys. We have one more color of the flag. So, also, what is happening here is because you're working with embroidery thread, because it's lots of small mini strands that make up one big one. Sometimes they start to become like thready, and you got to be careful with that too. So just when you're pulling them apart, make sure. What I like to do is I like to like twist to make them tighter again, to make the threads kind of come together more, so I don't have to run into that problem. So now we're on the blue. So we're gonna do under, over, up, 1 and 2. And then pull this one out because this is the next one we're doing. Under, over, up, tighten, under, over, up, tighten. Second magenta, over, up, tighten, round, whoops, around, under, up, tighten. Now we got to the purples, or violet, under, up, tighten, under, over, up, and tighten. I love watching these things come together. They look so pretty, all the different colors. What is your guys' favorite LGBTQ plus flag? I'm a sucker for the rainbow because I love rainbows. One of my friends loves the Ace colors. I also do like pansexual too. I was gonna try my hand at doing a lesbian flag, but fun fact, they don't really have an official flag, so it's up to the interpretation of many. But the most commonly known one is the lipstick lesbian flag, which is the various colors of pink. So we're gonna do under and up, and then tighten it once, and then under and up, and tighten it twice. And remember, when your colors start merging together, to separate them and make sure they don't get tangled. And up for the second magenta, and tighten, merge up, and tighten. And again, as you can see, the purples are kind of starting to get, the thread is starting to get very loose, and that's okay. Just be very mindful of that. And under and up and tighten, and then one more time and tighten, and then under and up, doing the second purple, whoop, and tighten. And now to the final blue, under, over, up, and tighten, under, over, up, and tighten. And we have completed, after I'm not sure how many exactly minutes, the full flag once. And of course, now you will repeat this. I'll repeat this. I'll do another full flag with you guys, and then we can stop for today. So again, I kind of separate it in half so I don't get the colors completely mixed. So, and when it comes to this, when it starts to like go woo every which way, this is where your handy dandy tape can come in once again. Take off a little piece and then tape it down. So that way it won't be going everywhere which way when you're tugging on the string. So it'll stay put. So we're gonna go under, up, and 1 knot, under, up, and the second one, and we're going to repeat that. Whoop. And up, and the second purple, and up, and whoop, and tighten. And you can start, you guys might be able to start to see the diagonal, how it's slanting. And 1, and 2. And then we're gonna close out the blue. 1, and 2. All right, and as you can see, I got a little blue. That's okay. Mistakes are happy mistakes. It's a learning process. So we're gonna separate them. There we go. So it's we're now on to our second magenta. And if you need to take like mini breaks, please take breaks, guys, because this can be very hard on your back, and you don't want to cause any trouble. You don't want to be in discomfort or pain. Do do do. Do do do. Now we're on to the blue. Again, make sure you got the right blue that you're going to next. Tighten. And tighten. And again, I got a little bit of blue, which is fine. Uh-oh, hold on. That one is way too much blue. Don't know what's going on. Sometimes you might have to try to, what I'm doing is to if you catch it soon enough, you can retry, which I'm gonna do because or I might not be able to do. That's okay. We'll leave this one, guys. And 2. There we go. I kind of corrected it. It went over the blue a bit. 1 and 2. And now we're on to the purple. See, sometimes this happens, and that's okay. If you catch it soon enough, again, like I said, you guys can try to unravel it and redo the knot. I would advise, if you are trying to get out like these tiny little knots, to redo one. If you have like a sewing needle, that would be a good way to undo the knot. Or like sharp fingernails, that could do it. Gonna separate. So first purple. 1, 2. 1, 2. And our second blue that's trying to hide within the magenta. 1, 2. Now we got our magenta going on, and make sure that it's in the correct order. So 1 and 2. And then our last magenta. 1, 2. Straighten them out so you can see. Uh-oh, I got 2 blue actually. It has some character. It has some character. Alrighty. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and then moving on to our magenta. 1, whoop, and 2. And our last magenta. 1, whoop, 1, 2. And then we're finishing out the purple. 1, 2. And we're on to our final color, guys, of the flag. Again, separating so it'll be a little bit easier. 1, 2. Somehow I got cat fur. Okay. 1, 2. And our second magenta. 1, 2. And then our last 2, which is the purple. So 1, and then 2. And then our last one. So 1 and 2. And then we did our second one is complete. Da, 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 da. All right, so now that we're done, let's say that we actually got through the whole thing, those whole 2 to 2.5 hours to finish about one of these. Then you're like, what do I do now to end the bracelet? And it'll be the same thing that we did for our beaded bracelet, which, hold on, let me bring up the tape. This will be just a really small mini bracelet. So once you complete your bracelet and get all the way down to the end, then you're gonna take your loop and you're gonna pull it through. Like that. Again, this is gonna be a really mini bracelet. And then you're gonna do the half rainbow. Well, not a half rainbow, but it is kind of a rainbow. And hold on, this way. So this way, half rainbow. And then you're gonna take the ends and you're gonna put it through the original loop. So it's gonna go through the original loop. And you're going to tighten it. And there you go. And you have adjustable. Just what we did with the beaded bracelet. But it'll be for your embroidery bracelet. And that is all the time we have today. I'm sorry that I made some partial mistakes in this one, but that's okay. Like I said, there's good days and bad days. But once you get the hang of it, then you can start making them aplenty. And what I've been doing, I've been making them for friends. It's super fun and it helps pass the time during this time, guys, that we're going through. So thanks for watching. Bye.